Okay. We're going to look at the top 10 games of the Channel F.
The one with all the fun. The Fairchild Video Entertainment System.
You know, the entire Channel F library is rather small, but I think we can at least attempt to rank the top 10 games for this trailblazing system. First of all, I want to mention some homebrew games. Pacman. It's an excellent homebrew. Even had intermissions, all 3 intermissions from the arcade game. So although this came a lot later, it wasn't an official cart at the time, it's probably one of the best things you can actually play on the Channel F. You can also play Tetris. And as you know, Tetris exists on every platform, so why not here? Alright, now our number 10 entry is Memory Match. It's not exciting or nothing, but it's one of the things the system does well for the cartridges that are on the system. Gotta match up the tiles. Good old concentration. Number 9, Robot War. This style of game was pretty popular in the early days of computing. You had a bunch of robots or any kind of creatures chasing after you, and you had to avoid them all by steering them into things that would kill them. No weapons. Weapons are bad. Just escape. In number 8, we have Shooting Gallery. Simple, straightforward. They randomly place your gun somewhere at an angle, and you have to time your shot to hit the moving target. Like I said, simple but effective and fun for the system. Number 7, Maze. Every system had a maze game. They did a good job with this one. They gave you a variety of play, different options. And it just happens to be more fun to play than many of the other carts. Number 6, Sonar Search. This game is actually kind of similar to Battleship. The one cool difference is that when you shoot a bomb into the water, you will get a series of sonar reflective tones that tells you how close or how far you were relatively to an actual target. So by listening to the audio cues, you have a better chance of hitting for your next shot, which makes it, I think, more fun than Battleship. Good stuff. Number 5 is Spitfire. It's the old dogfighting game. The sprites are rather large, making the playfield feel a little small, but I still enjoyed playing this game. Definitely one of the better carts that came out on the Channel F. In number 4, we have the Mind Reader cart, but specifically the game of Nim. I think this type of game is perfect for the Channel F. You don't need fancy graphics. You just need a challenging puzzle game. And this version of Nim is easy to read, easy to control, and you can play in 3, 6, or 9 pile versions of Nim. I really enjoyed it. I got very good at Nim to figure it all out. It was fun. Number 3, Dodge It. Again, simplicity is best. In each round of this game, you are a little cursor that has to avoid a bunch of bouncing blocks. The size of the blocks and the size of your cursor changes randomly every single round, but the goal is the same: survive as long as possible. And the fun thing is some combinations seems way easier to avoid than others. So the smaller your cursor, the faster it moves, and the larger the blocks, the slower they move, which tends to be the easier versions. But the randomness is great, and it's just a simple action, dodge it type of game. I guess that's why they called it Dodge It. Video Whizball. This too is one of the best games on the system because it's against the computer. You have an interesting style of gameplay here where you're trying to shoot from your little guy. You're trying to shoot these blocks into the opponent's goal. And when you hit the opponent himself, you actually make him disappear for about 5 seconds or 10 seconds, something like that. So if you can shoot the opponent, it removes them from being able to shoot back, giving you a little opportunity to score a few goals. this game's actually cool enough. I'm surprised they haven't made a modern version of it, or maybe they haven't. I just don't know it. But yeah, it's a great thing to try. It also contains one of the earliest Easter eggs in all of gaming that they've discovered. And finally, at number 1, of course, Alien Invasion. Yes, it's a Space Invaders clone, and yes, those were on practically every system. But just from a pure playability standpoint, this is one of the most fun, smooth, easy to play, and easy to get into games on the whole Channel F library. Which makes sense. It was one of the last releases for the system, so they've kind of gotten the programming better. They've worked out all the kinks, and they made this game smooth. They made it good. They have a couple options. I like the double shot version. The one downside is, like most Space Invader games, it gets boring, gets old. But that's it, really. They didn't have that many games. The system was so primitive, actually, that even these games in the top 10, well, it's still, you'd be hard-pressed to turn a bunch of heads these days. Still, it's a great piece of gaming history, and you can check out these games to get a feel for what the Channel F was capable of. It's a good place to start. Thanks for watching.